I'm going to show you how to create the end splice. The end splice is a great way to prevent your rope from fraying on the end ever. It'll never fray, and you can run it through tackle on your truck, on your boat, or on your aircraft. The beginning part is the most difficult part to tie, and that is the crown knot. Creating the crown knot is the crux of making this all work. What you have to do is you have to weave two parts here. I've got this separate, and then you're going to wrap around and come down through the top. Now, many times, because there's 3 strands here, I tie the crown knot wrong, but I get away with it anyway. And all you gotta do is just have this crisscross structure, and then all you gotta do is pull it down and then snug it up until you reach the base of the rope where you want to get started. Now, once you create the base of the rope where you want to get started, then what we're going to do is we're going to do a reverse weave. Now, getting this started again is very difficult because you end up making mistakes, and even during this video I'll probably mess it up to get started and it looks like a ball, but trust me, this works in the end. You can see here this strand goes over the first one, and this goes into the second part of the standing end, or the standing part. So I'm going to get this started. And it's funny because doing this in the book, I had to do it like 5 different times just to get it started so it looked as pretty as possible, because it's very difficult to get started. But once you get it started and you end up with a lump or two, this process works very well. Okay, so I've got you under there. Now I'm going to go over this one and under here, just like this. And the key is once you create that crown knot and you get your first weave in, everything else generally goes pretty well. Okay, and now to find where, let's see, that twists there, that twists there. So I gotta go over and under this guy. Okay, here we go. So it's a little bit of experimentation, but once you get the process going, okay, hopefully I did it right. Okay, there we go. Okay, you are there, you're there. Okay, all right. Now we've got all these evened out. There we go. One. Oops, yeah, I came down through the wrong one there. Easy to do, easy to do. And I want to show you the mistake, because without getting this started properly, this won't work. Hopefully I'll get it woven in there. There we go. Okay. Because once you get it going, it should be symmetric all the way down. So you can see my mistake. I didn't have it symmetric, but now it's gotten started. And I can snug the top up just so it turns solid. Just keep pulling it down, pulling it down. You want this in good and tight. And now that it's kind of like this symmetric, it's not an octopus, it's more like a tripus sort of thing. Now I do my second weave here, and you got to weave at least 4 inches, and if it's important, do more like 6 or 8. I know this is a bit of work, but once you get it down, it's good, and you got to make sure to kind of counter twist these guys, because otherwise they start looping out. And it depends on if you have nylon or polyester or a blend of nylon polyester. This particular polyester rope, or nylon twisted rope, it's a little more fibrous, and because my fingers are a little bit split up, it makes this very difficult because it snags in my hands constantly. So you can see here, weave it in. Good, and if I think I got enough process, I'm just going to fast forward this. Okay, there we go, here, there, and then this guy weaves there. Okay, good, so far so good. All right, and it should look beautiful, like symmetric. If it's a big blob or it's going out one way or the other. You got to correct it before you get too far along, otherwise it turns into a mess. And then you got to back it out and do it again. I don't know how many times I've done that. All right, and there we go. I've got 4 inches or about 10 centimeters of back splice completed, and that'll be good enough to stay together pretty much forever. It'll tighten it down, and then once you finish this off, usually you can cut the ends off and then tuck them in, or you can create a whipping. This is featured, the splice is featured in my book, The Most Crucial Nuts to Know. And then the whipping process, if you really want to check it out, to tighten this completely is there. So that is how you do the back splice. It creates a perfect end to your rope so you can feed it through couplings and material, and you'll never ever have to worry about this fraying.